Thanks for tuning into Heavy, where we bring you the latest interviews with local, national, and international artists. Today's victim is...
I'm Monique. I'm from a band called Reliqa. We have an EP called I Don't Know What I Am. It's out everywhere on September 16th. We're really excited to share it with you.
Beautiful, Monique. Thanks for joining us this early Monday morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yes, it is early on a Monday morning, but that's okay.
Any time before lunchtime is supposed to be illegal. I don't know what they're doing to us.
No better way to start the day, honestly.
That's perfect. Exactly. So Reliqa unleashed your new EP, as you say, I Don't Know What I Am, on September the 16th. So tell us a little bit about the album from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it.
So basically, it's all in the name, I've really been saying. We have, like, as long as we've been a band, we've been sort of getting this feedback that a lot of it keeps coming back to, what are you guys? You know, a lot of it is trying to sort of shoehorn us into a genre, but it's not really working. Like, we fit both everywhere and nowhere at the same time, I find. At least, like, from other people's perspective, that's what people are saying. So, are we prog? Are we metal? Are we metalcore? Are we this, that, the other? We're not quite sure. All we know is we're really making music that feels good to us. It's drawn from a lot of different, like, far-reaching inspirations. And musically, it's sort of come together into this amalgamation of a whole bunch of different sort of sounds we wanted to explore. Except in saying that, we wanted to keep it accessible in the sense that it wasn't just this absolute mess of sounds. It was also kind of cohesive and listenable. So we've really taken those inspirations and we've worked together with our producer, Chris Blancato, and just all of us together have refined our sound into kind of compressing all these far-reaching ideas into, you know, radio length tracks, 3 to 4 minutes sort of thing. It was a real challenge to get there. And I'm really interested to hear what people's thoughts are, because we're kind of still discovering what it means and what it is and who we are as musicians. And I think that, yeah, when I say that it's all in the name, it's sort of just a sense of, we are really wearing our hearts on our sleeves here. We're finding an identity. We're really carving out a sound that is hopefully signature to us. And that's kind of our goal here. And I think that we've kind of achieved it pretty well. And I'm really interested to hear what other people have to say about it.
So how would you say that this EP differs musically from your last EP, Eventside?
There are a couple of differences, I would say. I mean, firstly, just kind of, I think you'll find that it's a step up in maturity and sophistication, especially from a production standpoint. Like, the production is a lot more sophisticated, and I would say it's a fair bit more advanced than our previous work. Specifically, especially because a lot of our previous work was quite independent in creating it, but this time we've built a bit of a team around us. We had a really good producer. We've sort of refined our songwriting, so all of the ingredients, I think, have kind of just one-upped. I think you'll find that pretty much all around. Another really key difference, I would say, is probably like the lyrical content. Me specifically as the lyricist, I can speak on that because in the past, when I was sort of learning how to songwrite and how to do this thing, I guess, how does this thing work? You know, through earlier records, even Tide, I sort of the thing that was comfortable for me was to write sort of from an external perspective, sort of like narrative writing, I guess you could say. It wasn't really close to the heart. It was sort of a bit more world building in our music, and I really enjoyed that. Of course, it was really cool to tap into my sort of like my English writing and stuff like that. I really enjoy English, and I sort of use those skills to create worlds. But here we are, and when we sort of started approaching newer material, I really wanted to make a conscious effort to look introspectively in our lyrics, and it's really tricky to do, I'll tell you that much. Like, it really is, and I have a whole lot of respect, especially now, for those lyricists who can really tap into what it is to be them and to be human, and just those sort of universal emotions that we all feel, because it is so hard to take something intangible, so something that just is just a ball of energy or feeling, or something that doesn't really have words, and to put it into words and into song. It's so difficult, and it took me quite a long time to really refine that skill. But once I found it, and once it started clicking, it sort of started picking up and making a lot more sense as I went along, and that sort of manifested into this EP. So I think you'll find one of the key differences is that the fact that when you listen to the lyrics now, I think they'll make a lot more sense, and they'll be a lot more like, they'll resonate. At least that's the goal. Like, they resonate with me. I hope they resonate with others too.
Very good. And there's only 6 tracks on the EP, so then we'll go through each of them individually. So tell us what that track means to you, and what you were going for overall with it. So, of course, you got the title track, I Don't Know What I Am, starts off.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is my favorite song on the record right now. That is probably I think it makes the most sense as the title track, because it truly is the best representation of that exploration. I think that song is definitely a fever dream, I would say. I mean, especially like the opening lyrics is like, I'm inside a dream. And it's this, I think from the get-go, it's meant to build this intense sense of like, where am I, man? Kind of like Alice falling down the rabbit hole a little bit. At least that's what I feel when I'm hearing that song, and that's sort of what the goal was behind it. It's a great, I think it's a great introductory track, because it just kind of sets you up for what the rest of the EP is. Of course, it doesn't give away too much, but I think that there's just this, I mean, like, there are some really quirky moments in that track. For example, there's like an EDM drop in there, as opposed to where you would think a breakdown is going. Just a bit of subverting expectations, just building the world of what is going on here. I think that's the key behind that track.
Yeah. And what about the second one, The Bearer of Bad News?
Well, that one was actually originally meant to be a standalone track. That was written. It was probably the leading track off of the what is now an EP. We really wanted to dig a bit deeper into darker soundscapes there. It was during definitely a very experimentative phase for us. We were exploring new soundscapes. We were taking influence from a lot of different styles and cultures of music. And I think Bearer sort of manifested into this dark, sort of harrowing track. And it definitely, like, that one, I think, out of all of the rest of the songs on the EP, that one's the least personal, I would say, but it does feel, because I sort of did narrative right with that one, because essentially it was the beginning of this exploration into how to write lyrics like in a personal way. Yeah. It's very foreboding, and the persona, listen out in that song for the persona being very manipulative and powerful and domineering. I think it creates this alter ego, I would say. It's very dark track.
Very cool. Then you've got Safety, which featured a guest from Sean Harmanis.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Definitely our most metalcore track, I would say. Probably the most accessible to more mainstream metalcore audience. Radio friendly, I would say. Well, like, in terms of like those who like it heavy, it would probably be radio friendly. Sean was a great collaboration on this EP. He really brought it all together. When we started writing that song, we knew that there were going to be sounds we wanted that I wouldn't be able to achieve, or just not even that I couldn't achieve them. I feel like I could figure out a way, but it was just, we wanted to try something new and sort of splash out a little bit into other bands' sounds and make them suffer. Were a great representation of where we wanted to go with that track. So Sean made a lot of sense, and he really just he just sprinkles that something, that spice into the track, and especially because he's been woven throughout the song and not just like dumped in a verse kind of thing. Like, there are parts of his throughout the entire song, so he kind of assimilates with the rest of the band in a sense. which I think is really cool. For a minute there, we're a 5-piece, and it's really cool to hear it come to life in that one.
And then we'll move on to Second Nature.
Yes. Oh, that's my baby. That song is definitely the strongest representation of writing from a personal place. I think that one, you hear how I get lost for words with it. For those at first glance, it's the sort of softer track. It's a little bit more melodic, a bit of a ballad, but it definitely has its moments of it's sort of a lively, like, the chorus is really lively and fun, and I just feel joy when we play that song, because I'm spilling out. Basically, that song is a really vulnerable one. I'm spilling out a lot of ideas about myself and where I fit into this world, and there's a lot of self-doubt, self-criticism, but at the same time, it's also discovering love and happiness in the world. Kind of just these ideas going head to head, one of the sides being fear and one of the sides being love, and they're just kind of like clashing and dividing in this really interesting way in that song, I find. I think it's our moment to slow down for a bit on the EP and to kind of process what's going on here, and I hope that the audience finds that moment in that song too.
Cool. Well, the second last one, it's Blip, but it's dot blip. There's got to be a reason for that.
Oh, well, it's that basically we wanted to have at least one track on the EP. I think that this reigns true for most of the songs, but we wanted to have a song on the EP where the instrumentals get to really shine through. Mm-hmm. And I think through that kind of staggered entry style, like, for example, you start with a drum beat and then you hear the bass layer on top, then you got some synth, then you got a crashing guitar solo in the end there. We really wanted to kind of introduce the band. I think if it's I don't know what I am, it's okay, here we are. Here we are. Like, really one at a time. Everyone gets their moment to shine. I mean, not me, because there's no vocals in the song. Well, there's vocal samples, but no, I did want to step back in that one for a bit. And I won't take too much credit for it because the boys really shaped that one into what it is. And I think it's a really good representation of it's a bit of a jam.
And we finish off with the Ritualist.
It's the Ritualist, yeah. Big closer, got to finish it strong. That song, look, from a lyrical perspective, the Ritualist comes down to, to be a bit vulnerable. Like, I'm someone who has OCD, and a big part of OCD is these ritualistic behaviors that you desperately cling on to, and I really wanted to explore that in this song. Like, one of the lyrics in the song is it says the ending of the chorus, it's get on with life, just lock your door thrice before you leave home. So it's like, it's just a little bit of a homage to the people out there who will understand what it's like to live ritualistically. But it's also just, it really just hammers home on that self-exploration. I think there's a part of the song where it's listing off, like, what am I? Maybe I'm a this, maybe I'm a that, maybe I'm a this. And I think my favorite moment in that song is the final flourish, I guess you could say. There's the final, like, the outro of the vocals. I will tell you the lyrics on that one because I think it's really special. It says, "So take your time, slow down the sequence, you've gone too far. When everything is under control, what will be left to make you everything that you are?" Question mark.
That's awesome.
Full stop. Basically what I'm saying there is, like, slow down. Like, you don't have to know what you are. It's kind of the answer. It kind of closes everything up. I don't know what I am. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Keep figuring it out, basically. I feel really strongly about that track. It's in terms of musically, I think it's pretty accessible to a metalcore audience. There's a lot of rap in there as well. It's a very good signature Reliqa track, I think, and people will find that as we continue releasing music.
Very good. Thanks for that. That was quite a comprehensive wrap up. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. I haven't actually done that yet, so that was really cool.
Oh, sweet. And you've recently been on a run of Monolith shows as well with COG and Karnivool. So how has that been?
Oh, really good. It's been so cool to be playing amongst people we've idolized for so long, you know. These are bands that we've looked up to from when we were kids and when our parents, you know, showed us music, and we, you know, we feel really grateful to be considered as an artist amongst these people too. We're not only like people who have listened to these bands for so long, but we're also respected amongst them as people who make music just like them. So it feels very validating, I think, to be part of such an incredible lineup, because it makes us feel really legit, I guess you could say. We're here, we have something to say too, and we're definitely, I think we're like the youngest, like amongst the youngest band on the lineup. So I think it's really special to be representing that new generation. I think Monolith is a really cool, you've got like the existing giants and then the new generation rising through. Like even Ocean Grove, they're a very good representation of this new generation. Like they've taken off and they are dominating the industry, sorry. But they really are new and fresh and exciting. And I think we're sort of somewhere in between the two in terms of sound. And it's just a really exciting showcase of everything that this music industry has to offer, and so special. Like we feel so loved amongst the touring party and so appreciated, and it's just been so validating.
Awesome. And are you going to be doing any of your own shows to promote the EP?
Yeah, we've got some stuff in the pipeline, nothing announced yet, so nothing I can speak on too closely. Yep. But we did announce a few shows. It only was a few days ago, so I forgot we announced. We're going to be playing a one night only show in Sydney with North Lane and Wind Waker. That's really exciting. That's going to be actually to celebrate Crowbar, like their 10-year anniversary.
Oh,
so
cool.
That is going to be an absolutely insane show. I think it's almost sold out, if it's not sold out yet. I'm going to need to take a look. And we've already announced another Melbourne show too. We're coming down to play a fundraiser show with Saviour and Tapestry and Alira for what we did on the weekend. That's going to be really cool. That's at Stay Gold. Apart from that, everything else we've got in the pipeline is under wraps, but you'll be hearing more from us pretty soon about that.
No worries at all. Well, thanks very much for your time today, Monique. It's been a pleasure. I Don't Know What I Am is out on September the 16th, so get yourselves a copy and support these up-and-coming local guys.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Thanks for the chat.
Thanks. You too.